Welcome to my channel. This is Bruce the Boss, and today's topic is former child star Ricky Schroder harassing Costco employees out in California. But before we get into that, don't forget to smash on that subscribe button and comment on this video. I want to know your thoughts, and your comments and subscriptions go a long way in helping videos like this in the algorithm in an age where big tech and specifically YouTube does try to shadow ban or suppress any alternative voices that go against the mainstream narrative. And also, your subscriptions go a long way in helping in the algorithm and allows you to see my new content and get notified of my content as I put it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the video clip that seems to be going viral across the internet regarding Ricky's encounter with Costco employees. Let's roll.
What's your name?
My name is Jason.
And what do you do here?
I'm a supervisor, front-end supervisor.
And why aren't you letting me in?
Because in the state of California and the county of Los Angeles, there has been and Costco, there has been no change to our mask policy. Not in the state of California or in the county of Los Angeles.
Didn't you see the news? You didn't see the news. Nationwide Costco, I said you don't need to wear masks.
Actually, that's not accurate.
What is accurate?
So what is accurate is that Costco always goes above and beyond when following the law, and the mandate in California has not changed. There does seem to be the possibility that in June, by mid-June, that's a date that California, I know,
if they allow us, if they grant us that, our kings, the people in power, you're going to listen to these people?
Well, I know
they've destroyed our economy.
Well,
they're destroying our culture. They're destroying our state. And you're just going to listen to their rules.
Well, what we are going to do is simply follow the guidelines.
Okay.
I'm getting my refund. I'm getting my refund from Costco. I suggest everybody in California get their refund from Costco. Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company that I'm aware of. The places I shop still require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law, and that's the law.
There's my refund. You're the manager?
I'm the manager.
Okay, I'm suggesting everybody in California get a refund from Costco until this rule is lifted. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, that was the video in full from the time in which Ricky had the encounter with the front-end supervisor to the end of their confrontation and or standoff. And I had to say, Ricky, on the facts of the issue and what was discussed there was wrong. Big props to the front-end supervisor employee there at Costco for remaining cool and spitting nothing but facts. Now, it is true, late Thursday and early Friday, it was announced by the CDC, major changes in their mask mandate in terms of, for those who've been fully vaccinated, they pose no longer not only a risk of getting seriously sick and or hospitalized from COVID, but also it is extremely rare that they would even pose a threat to anyone else due to the rarity of those who have been fully vaccinated to even transmit the disease to other people. So as a result, yes, the CDC adjusted their guidelines, and many states got that information. Some made changes, like give props to, and I rarely ever do it, but Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan did an about face, but Cuomo did not. A lot of companies also started to change their requirements. As you can see from this CNN article on Friday, yes, Walmart, Trader Joe's, and Costco says vaccinated customers didn't have to wear masks in stores. However, if you were to read further down into the article here, let's see here. Here we go. So at Costco, vaccinated customers can shop without a mask in U.S. locations where there are no state or local mask mandates. And I quote, "We will allow members and guests who are fully vaccinated to enter Costco without a face mask or face shield," end quote. In those areas, the company said in a message posted to its website on Friday, and continue with the quote, "Costco continues to recommend that all members and guests, especially those who are at higher risk, wear a mask or shield," end quote. But the key thing is, in this phrase here, is they will lift it only in states where the mask mandates have been lifted. However, is it the case with California? I can say that for where I'm at here in Texas, Mississippi, South Dakota, and those in Florida can now go into a Costco because they're without a mask, because there is no mask mandate in those states. But the question is here, and where Ricky Schroder is in California, is there still a mask mandate despite the CDC's changes. And according to this here in the CBS Sacramento article, Governor Gavin Newsom says California's COVID-19 mask mandates set to end on June 15th. And this is dated yesterday, May 15th. So according to Gavin Newsom out in California, they are still having their mask mandates in place to this day until June 15th. So that Costco front end supervisor, Jason, I believe his name is, was 100% correct. And Ricky was in the wrong, or very much wrong on the facts. Yes, Costco is lifting their mask mandate in store for only in states where the mask mandates were lifted. But in California, they are adhering to the law there in that state. Now, I did do a video recently on the CDC's about face and how many on the left are using this mask now to blatantly say, you know, it's no longer about following the science. This is all about political identity politics and virtue signaling. Go ahead and check that video out. But I gotta say, I'm not really getting California Governor Gavin Newsom's stance on delaying it a whole month out. If they're all about following the science, and the science recently coming out stating, you know what, those who have been fully vaccinated, not only are they no longer at risk of severe symptoms from COVID, nor are they at risk of hospitalization from COVID, therefore not a chance of overwhelming the hospitals or the medical community, but they're also at a very extremely low risk of transmitting the virus to other people. So not only is it no longer a risk to themselves, they're no longer a threat to anyone else, whether that someone else has been vaccinated or not. It's as close to zero, according to the CDC, as close, but not zero, but as close to 0% chance of you being a threat to others, nor of it to yourself. So it doesn't really make sense to maintain the mask mandate for anyone, whether they've been vaccinated or not. So I'm not really getting Gavin Newsom's stance on extending the mask mandate until June the 15th. Why not just end it either, this week or a week from now? Why wait a whole month? But I digress. Ricky was not only wrong on the facts and the rules, but he also may have had the wrong approach, because even if you're not in favor of the mask mandates, there's a better way to approach it than rather harassing employees just trying to follow the rules of their employment. Now, I think there's a better way to go about it. Now, I'm not for masks myself either, to be perfectly honest. I, saw the signs and, I just chose a different path, or at least following in sync with what Sweden did. But if you're going to protest laws that you're not liking, there's a better way of going about it. Rather than lone wolf, my suggestion to people like Ricky is, instead of just being a lone wolf provocateur, if you will, stage a mass protest. Get at least 50 to 75 people, but if you can get a couple of hundred people to stage a protest in a state where the mask mandates are still a requirement and you're not in agreement with it, get a group of a couple dozen individuals. If you can get 100 or a couple hundred, even better. Go into a store where they still have those rules, whether it be due to state regulations or not. Go into the store, preferably with a mask, so that there's no issue of y'all getting in. And then the second everyone gets into the store, just take your mask off. But don't create a stir. Don't say anything to draw even more attention to yourself. Just take the mask off and then continue shopping as normal. If you get a large enough crowd, there's only but so much they can do. It's not as easy for them to be able to remove you all if it's a good 100 or a couple hundred of y'all. If it's just a couple of dozen, you may make the news, may make some noise, but you could get more so easily escorted out by the cops. But go about it like that. Stage peaceful protests in the street. Let your local officials know, hey, we don't like these laws. Try to expedite the canceling of them, because it doesn't make any sense now with the science coming out with the vaccines. And or if it's a business regulation, in spite of the state regulations or lack thereof, like states here in Texas, South Dakota, Mississippi, and Florida, where the states have removed the mandates and yet the business still requires it, let the voices be known that you as a consumer, if you can get a large number of individuals saying, you know what, we don't like this, we're going to protest until you change your business rules, because it doesn't really make any more sense. That's the better way of going about it, not these lone wolf situations where you're just being a jerk and coming off as such with little or no support, because it really doesn't get much done. That's just my thoughts. I want to know what your thoughts are. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, and please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this video, to this channel. Again, it helps out with the algorithm. And I'm also uploading a lot of these videos on Rumble. I'll put the link to my Rumble account in the description box below, so you'll have other ways of getting that to me, because I have been stricken on more than one occasion on YouTube before, just in case, and I've just recently been suspended from Twitter, so I can't even really respond to anything on Twitter. I can use it, and it's real stupid why it got suspended, but we're in an era of big tech censorship, and so there's a chance that they can purge any and all, I guess, speech that they don't agree with. We've already seen them suspend Louder with Crowder for no apparent good reason, so it can happen to any of us, so just to make sure we have a presence elsewhere. So I am backing up a lot of these videos on Rumble. Go ahead and follow me there if you're subscribed to this channel. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks, and I'm out. Peace.